Welcome back to our channel and thanks for supporting us. Today I am showing a 2018 American science fiction adventure film titled A.X.L. Watch out for the spoilers, just enjoy and take care. At the start of the film, we see a scientist who has built an artificial dog. It has very advanced features and was very powerful. It can be used as a weapon. It will be very useful in the future. Then the scene changes and we see a boy named Miles who is participating in a bike race. His bike becomes out of order. He asks for help from some people there, as they were an opposite team and they don't help him. Meanwhile, a girl named Sarah arrives there. She gives Miles a chain for his bike. He again starts the bike race. Luckily, he wins the race. There we see a boy named Sam. He says to Miles that there is a party at his home tonight, and he will wait for him. Miles doesn't like Sam, and he doesn't want to go to that party. But when he comes to know that Sarah will also be there at that party, he also goes there at night. By going there, he notices that Sam is very ill-mannered. He was setting everything on fire, just for fun. But Miles hates his behavior. There was nothing interesting for Miles at that party. So he goes to the bike collection place of Sam. Following Miles, Sarah also arrives there. They start talking. Then we see Miles sitting with his father. He says to him that we are poor but I need money. I want to do something. From there, the scene changes. We see a scientist named Andrik who has built that artificial dog. And its name was A.X.L. He was very worried because his dog ran away. He receives a call from army that he had made an illegal weapon. And if they find it, the government will take its custody and seize it. Andrik says, okay, give me 2 days, after it, I will give that dog to your custody. He has to do this because he made it illegally. After it, we see Sam and Miles. Sam again says to Miles that we are going to the hills. We will enjoy ourselves there. You can come if you want as we are making videos of bike racing. You can post them and become famous. As Miles wants to become famous and earn money, he gets trapped with his words and he goes with him. Reaching there, Sam and Miles start talking. When Sam sees that Miles is not attentive to his bike, he pours a soft drink into his bike. So if he drives the bike or does some stunts, he can't do it, and it was also dangerous for him. Sam's purpose was to insult Miles. Now all show their stunts. But when it was Miles' turn and he starts his bike, before displaying any stunts, his bike falls into the ditch. He also topples from his bike. His bike gets damaged. And he is also badly injured. After doing this, Sam does one more bad thing. He doesn't ask Miles about his condition. He leaves Miles alone and moves from there. Miles feels very bad about that and he says to himself that he should do something alone. He bravely stands up and repairs his bike. He makes himself comfortable and moves on his bike from there. Before he leaves from there, he notices something. There he sees a huge container. Some sounds were coming from it. Miles goes near it and opens it to see. He sees something strange. That was none other than that A.X.L. dog. When A.X.L. sees Miles, it starts chasing him. Miles was driving his bike swiftly without caring about anything in front of him. He was maneuvering his bike by doing stunts. As a result, when A.X.L. was chasing him, it couldn't understand his stunts and falls down. Miles feels bad when A.X.L. falls, as he also fell some time ago and none helped him. He goes to A.X.L. because he is kind-hearted. He notices that it is a dog-shaped robot. He says to it that he will not do any harm to it and he will make it fine. With it, Miles starts checking it and takes out a rod pierced into it, as it was very painful to it. When that rod comes out, A.X.L. feels very comfortable. And it wants to convey thanks to Miles. It seems like soon they will become good friends. Miles comes to know that this robot ran from the place where it was built. There must be a reason to run from there. Now they become good friends. A.X.L has the qualities of dog, so it behaves like a dog. It plays with Miles. On another side, Sarah asks Sam, "What have you done with Miles? Where is he now?" Sam says, "I haven't done anything, actually he deserves it. If you are worried about him, then go and see him." Sam tells her the place where he left Miles last time. On another side, Miles and A.X.L were playing and the scientist was also seeing all this through that robot. He tells the people who were present with him, "See, I told you, the dog robot which I made is perfect. It can live with humans. But the army and the government says it is illegal. I wanted to do this experiment and I have to promote this thing that A.X.L can live with humans." His companions forbid him, but he does not stop. Meanwhile, Sarah also arrives at that place where Miles is present. But A.X.L becomes angry when it sees Sarah. It barks at her. But Miles says to it, "Stop, she is my friend. She will not harm you." After it, he says to Sarah to come and talk to A.X.L. Here Sarah and A.X.L also become friends. They spend the night and enjoy themselves there a lot, as the robot plays music with its advanced technology. The next morning, Miles thinks that we have to move from there. As A.X.L was alone, so they make it sit in their truck and move from there. But when their gas finishes and they go to a gas station, but they do not have any money. They were not worried as A.X.L was with them. It hacks the system and gives some money to Miles. With it, Miles buys some food items and fuel also. Then they go to a place where Sarah shows them her paintings. That dog also starts showing something. They were some graphical representations stored in its drive. They come to know that it wasn't an ordinary dog, it was made for the use of the army. They notice that it would be used as a weapon. Miles finds a chip inside it. The dog comes into his control due to it. Meanwhile, Sam comes there to harass them. Sarah says to him, "You came here also to tease us. Go from here, I know what have you done." Sam starts fighting with Sarah. Miles and A.X.L also arrive there. When Sam becomes aggressive with Miles, A.X.L pounces on him with anger as Miles was its friend. It starts attacking Sam. Meanwhile, the companions of the scientist say to him that we have to go there, as A.X.L could harm someone. The scientist says, "No, now we have the chance to see what A.X.L will do." As A.X.L attacks Sam, he gets scared and runs from there. But it does not harm him. Sarah says to Miles, "What have you done? You attacked Sam. My mother is a servant in his house. You know very well he can do anything to take revenge, couldn't you keep quiet?" Later, they leave that place and request A.X.L to stay there itself. Miles reaches his home with Sarah. He tells his father everything. His father says, "If you have found it, then you should have given it to its owner." On another side, we see Sam becoming very aggressive and he goes to set A.X.L on fire. Going there, he sprinkles fuel everywhere. He sets that place on fire. He sends that video to Sarah. Sarah and Miles go to that place, but till then, A.X.L was burned. A signal comes from A.X.L's body about how it can be repaired. Now Sarah and Miles take it to their place and make its system fine. But the final step is rebooting it. After that it will be fine. But it takes 2.5 hours for that process. Unfortunately, the scientist finds its location. He sends his companions so that they will search A.X.L and bring it to him. But Miles doesn't want this. He was praying that rebooting would be over fast. Luckily it happens the same. After 2.5 hours A.X.L reboots and starts barking people around it. While Sam was burning it, it scanned him. Now it wants to take revenge on Sam. As a result, it starts searching for Sam. It reaches the place where Sam was present and starts attacking Sam. But Sam throws fire on it with a device that is used to set things on fire. But A.X.L wasn't scared. It wants to attack him. Fortunately, fuel in that device depletes. He couldn't throw fire anymore. Now A.X.L moves towards him in anger for a final attack. But Miles and Sarah arrive there. They say to A.X.L, "You are a good dog, don't do this." And they stop it. But some drones arrive there that was sent by the scientist to control A.X.L. As a result, A.X.L becomes weak. That scientist comes and takes A.X.L with him and changes its settings. Because of it, its memory does not remain good. As a result, it forgets the past. It becomes wild and defensive. When Sarah goes there, it couldn't identify Sarah. Sarah starts making something with her hand. With it, it understands that she is Sarah. Sarah has done this before when she was with A.X.L. A.X.L understands that who is harming it. It turns towards that scientist and starts attacking him, but the army and the government officials come there. They arrest the scientist for doing this illegally. They were also moving towards A.X.L. But Sarah and Miles take A.X.L with them. Sarah comes out and surrenders in front of the army. Sarah has done this so that Miles and A.X.L could run from behind. They run towards the forest. While running they reach a far distance and the army helicopters were chasing them. Miles and A.X.L jump, but Miles falls down. Due to it, his elbow gets fractured. He says to A.X.L, "You have to leave, go from here. I don't want anybody harming you." A.X.L doesn't go from there but Miles insists on it and after it, A.X.L runs speedily. It moves to a far distance but helicopters were still following it. Now A.X.L has the ability to destroy itself. It was about to do this. So that nobody could destroy it, it will destroy itself. For the last time, it zooms towards Miles and sees him. As if it wants to say to him that he was its good friend. It destroys itself as it had to go. After it, there we see a huge blast. A.X.L was no more and Miles was looking at it very depressed as if he missed a good friend. After some time, we see the scientist in jail. Later an army captain comes to him. And asks him, "We are feeling like A.X.L is reactivating. Tell us what is the solution for it. Will you reboot or destroy it?" The scientist says, "Why are you asking me?" That captain says, "We need your help." Then the scientist gets released from jail. On another side, we see all were appreciating Sarah and Miles. They also get a scholarship. Later, they go to a beach and they also have a husky dog. Miles shows a device to Sarah. Using it, he pairs it with A.X.L. He says, "Shall I turn it on?" As he turns it on, he gets a signal that A.X.L is reactivating and soon it will return. With this, the movie ends here. Thanks for watching.